The Princess of Wales reveals a never-before-seen Christmas photo as they react to their own Christmas card Photoshop fail. Prince Harry scores a big legal victory, and The Crown wraps up its 6th and final season. And social media star and fashion expert Morgan Freeman breaks down her top 3 royal fashion moments of the year.
In general, matching power suits with like a matching pointed toe suede heel is like my hands down favorite.
We've got that plus so much more on today's Royally Us. Hey everyone, I'm Christina and that's Christine, and welcome to a big week of royal news. We are definitely in the Christmas spirit. It's right around the corner, and so is the royal family.
Yeah, there's so many festive news stories, so many Christmassy things to look forward to. It's definitely getting very, very close to the big day.
Definitely. All right, before we get into it, let's see what you guys had to say about last week's show. One user says, Meghan Markle considering coming back to the royal family, thinking and hoping that's not an option. If Charles lets them back in, he will be putting William and Catherine in great danger, in my honest opinion. This was in reference to our interview with Thomas Quinn, who talked about the possibility of Meghan maybe returning in the future, but at this point, I feel like that's highly unlikely.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
No. Definitely. And then Carolyn says, funny, Christina and Christine, your take on the king's photo. Other outlets are saying it appeared stuffy, that they used this photo and not something less regal, LOL. I mean, I really think that there's no other option. I mean, you have that cord, like that's, if I was crowned queen, I would be using that photo too.
You're so right. I think that, that was obviously the highlight of the year. It was a huge expense, but also a huge historical occasion. And I think that's why William and Kate's card was so great, that it was such a laid back balance to that very regal card that we saw from the king.
Definitely. We're going to talk more about Kate's photo in a little bit, but let's get into our news of the week. And Princess Kate is focused on families this holiday season. In a pre-recorded message for her royal carols together at Christmas concert, she said, throughout our earliest interactions, relationships, and experiences with those who love us, even before we are born, we lay the foundations to so much of what that future will depend on. But only by valuing and supporting the vital role of the adults in a child's world can we hope to make a difference. Of course, Kate and her husband attended the annual carol service on December 8th at Westminster Abbey, and they were accompanied by their children. It's so true. I mean, she's always talking about early development and early childhood and the importance of love throughout those times and all the years, but definitely, especially at Christmas.
Yeah, I think she's doing an amazing job really tying so much of her work and some really diverse projects like this televised carol concert to some of her, more interesting engagements. All of it is being tied back to those early childhood experiences, which I think is a really tricky thing to really get those all to connect.
Definitely. And as we know, the couple will be spending the holidays as a family, with a source telling Us Weekly that William and Kate will be taking the kids to the walk at Sandringham and Mass at St. Mary Magdalene on Christmas Day. They are looking forward to the upcoming holiday break with their kids, and they are planning on going on a Christmas vacation, after things kind of settle down. That we hear that there will be a beach and it will be relaxing for the whole family. I mean, I think everybody can get on board with that.
I am personally quite jealous. I'm already sick of the wet winter weather, so I'm also dreaming of a beach holiday.
Me too. I think we got a ways to go before it gets nice again. Moving on over to the Duke of Sussex, and he had a big legal win. He was awarded over $180,000 in his legal win and issued a long and powerful statement that was read aloud outside the courthouse by his attorney. In part, he said, today's ruling is vindicating and affirming. I've been told that slaying dragons will get you burned, but in light of today's victory and the importance of doing what is needed for a free and honest press, it is worthwhile. It is a worthwhile price to pay. The mission continues. Now, the judge handed down the ruling in High Court in London, stating that 15 of 33 articles at the center of Harry's claim published by the Mirror Group newspapers were the product of phone hacking of his mobile phone or the mobile phones of his associate or the product of other unlawful information gathering. So yes, big legal win for Harry. This is continuing. This is one of 4 legal cases that he has going forward against the press. So, but this is definitely a big one. And, phone hacking is not a good thing.
No, and this is sort of an ongoing conversation as part of sort of several cases with phone hacking. And we know that Prince William won his case privately settled quietly, his own phone hacking case. This was a really prevalent issue during this period in time in the news. It was really, really serious. And it is kind of nice to see Harry get a win. You know, as we said, he has so many court cases right now. Some of them tend to come out really ugly, and it's not been a really fun experience for him, for us, for the press, for anybody involved. So it was nice to see him get a win, and sort of, I'm sure he felt a good amount of vindication.
No, definitely. And in this week's cover story for Us Weekly, we're taking a look at Meghan and Harry and what they have planned in 2024. And it seems like they are moving forward in a positive direction. They have a lot of things coming up. Prince Harry is working on another book. As we know, he has a 4-book deal, so there will be another one coming. Meghan is working on her philanthropy. They're said to be in, high demand. So hopefully, the tides shift in, and they're continuing to do work that we want to talk about.
Yeah. Again, this is, we keep saying it. We just want to see them doing the good work, the philanthropic work, hearing about their charitable projects, maybe not juicy tell-alls. I'm interested to see what those other books are going to be, because we've definitely exhausted the sort of spilling the secret, telling my side of the story thing. And again, I'd rather be talking about, the good work they're doing, the charities they're supporting, and not sort of the court cases and the dirty secrets and what's the next book going to be about.
Right.
And I know we say it all the time, but I'm optimistic for 2024.
Fingers crossed. All right, well, let's move on over and spill some royalty. And Prince William and Princess Kate aren't very happy that the holiday card is making headlines for the wrong reason. William and Kate are said to be embarrassed that people think their holiday card was heavily edited. An insider exclusively tells Us Weekly, adding that the couple were as shocked as everyone else by the reaction to the picture. After the image was shared, thousands of social media users flocked to the comments to point out perceived problems in the picture. One user wrote, "There's an extra leg in this picture. How did the photographer not notice?" And another one said, "Anyone talking about why Prince Louis is just missing a finger?" In the photo, Louis stands in front of his father, rests his arm on his chair while Charlotte sits in front. And as Louis's left hand holds on the armrest, his fingers are spread very wide, making it appear that he is missing a finger. Kate and William haven't publicly commented on this backlash of the photo. Don't think that they will, but I'm sure this is not the reaction that they wanted.
I mean, this is very funny. I think that this is probably the photo that they're not going to include in the history books. Like some family photos they pull out again and again. This one is not going to be one of them. Clearly it was not well received for lots of different reasons. We'll never sort of hear their side of the story. I'm sure they just thought, oh, look, it's a good family photo. Everyone's smiling at the camera. And that was probably a win. And now we're sort of seeing these little inconsistencies. I don't know that we're going to see this style of photo again, because gosh, it's just been so heavily criticized, hasn't it? But it's been interesting to see this very strong reaction to this 1990s JCPenney advertisement.
100%. All right. Well, it's hard to believe, but the sixth and final season of The Crown is now out. People have been watching it. People have been talking about it and how it ended. And the show actually concludes with Queen Elizabeth's plan for Operation London Bridge, which was the code name for her funeral arrangements. The episode features flashbacks of the Queen with younger versions of herself, who are, of course, played by Olivia Colman and Claire Foy. And, there are rumors that, at the time she was going to step down and let King Charles take over, but it ends with her saying that she is not going to do that. And, I think it was a beautiful way for the show to wrap up. They ended it with Charles and Camilla's wedding. And, she said, during that time, she said that she did not want King Charles to take over. She was going to stay and, see her duty through. And that's how we kind of ended off. And I think it was a nice place to do so.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good feedback about the way the season ended, considering people weren't really sure at the beginning of the series. The first 3 episodes really got a lot of backlash. They were really, I wouldn't say they were well received. The last 3 episodes, I've actually heard really good feedback. I thought that they were really well done, even though I have my own reservations about the way they did Kate's fashion. I think that it was well done and it sort of ended on a really poignant note. And that's sort of what, the overall reaction has been. Luckily, Diana's ghost did not come back to meet Kate. Although they had Kate and Diana meet in the show, I half expected the ghost to come back, honestly. And there were some inconsistencies. I don't know that they portray Carol Middleton very well. And there's all these sort of, the way that Kate and William meet is obviously not exactly historically true, but the whole show is rife with historical inaccuracies. So I don't know that any of us were overwhelmingly surprised.
No, that is so true. Yeah, no, it is. They never said that they are following the history books to the T. And, they kind of did take some liberties. Like you said, Kate did not meet Princess Diana. She claimed she did not have the posters of William all over her walls. She was not this big fangirl, or at least she didn't want to admit it. It's nice that the show is wrapped up. It has been part of our lives for so many years now. And I think it was a good way to end it. But let us know in the comments what you think as well.
Definitely.
All right, let's break down the royal rules. And as the year comes to a close, we want to take a look back at the top 3 royal fashion moments of the year. And helping us do so is social media star and fashion expert Morgan Freeman. Take a look. As we know, we've seen a lot of great royal fashion moments this year, but I would love to get your top 3.
Christina, thanks for having me. Oh my God. I feel like this year, especially for Princess Kate, has been like pivotal in a way in her fashion sense. So it's really hard for me to pick 3. I feel like we've seen a big change in her, like the power suits that I love. I think I talked to you about it a few months ago, like poised power, love a matching power suit. They're in like full force this year and I am here for it. So like in general, matching power suits with like a matching pointed toe suede heel is like my hands down favorite. And I think she's just bringing like a level of maturity to us now.
I love that so much. Was there any, I know we had some big, red carpet moments, some tiara moments. Was there any that really stood out to you?
Yes, the teal cape formal that she wore, I think it was to the Variety event. I feel like she's really like honing in on a tailored shoulder, which flatters her so well. And blue, of course. I love when she wears any shade of blue. But the teal formal is like a tailored shoulder with that cape and then some like bedazzle up here. It was so beautiful. And I just think it really suits her.
It definitely does. How about Meghan, going over to California? Did she have any standout moments for you this year?
I love Meghan because I feel like although they're not like super stand out, I just love like the neutral class that she's like always giving us, like trenches, like Chanel little slingback heels. To me, I feel like she, in my book, doesn't give us as many like bold, like cape formal moments. However, like her everyday style is just totally like so chic, so poised, so put together.
What about predictions for the upcoming year? Do you think Kate is going to continue the style trend that she's been kind of rocking lately? Or is there anything that you would like to see her experiment with next year?
I mean, of course, color, but she's already doing it. I definitely think we're going to see like the power suit in full effect. I think she leans more towards like a high-waisted trouser. Even a wide leg suits her really nicely. But I think we're going to just continue to see a little bit of maturity. I think she'll be 42 soon. So I think she's really just like settling into like her queen in waiting role. And she's treating it like a business. And I feel like we're seeing that.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree with you more. I love the business polished look that we are seeing. She's like all business all the time now.
I love it. I mean, I do love like a floral midi. I just think we might be seeing less of that.
So Morgan, I know that you are known for recreating these royal looks so we can dress like a royal for less. So what were your top outfits or outfits that you redesigned this year?
So I think fortunately for us, this new style with blazers and trousers, and she's doing a lot of mix matching. It's very good for us as consumers, and it's really good for me to recreate because they're so versatile. Blazers are really, really good to just mix into like 10 different outfits. For example, this red tweed, we can make 10 outfits with, which some of her like specialty dresses are a little harder to recreate. So I've been just doing a ton of trousers with sneakers, trousers with pointed toe heels, and just mixing in and out like solid blazers that match a solid undershirt. And it's just a timeless look.
So many fashion moments to choose from, but let's talk a little bit more about fashion because there was a big royal history moment of the week at Julian's Auctions. They announced Princess Diana's ballerina-length evening dress by Moroccan British fashion designer Jacques Azaguri that she actually wore in Florence, Italy in April of 1985 and again in Vancouver in 1986. It sold for $1.148 million and the winning bid was 11 times its original estimate of $100,000. Now Now, the identity of the buyer is unknown, but the sale actually shatters the previous world record for the most expensive dress worn by Princess Diana to be auctioned. The previous record was set earlier this year when her purple evening dress by Victor Ebelson sold for $604,000. So yeah, that's a hefty price tag of a wedding dress, but hopefully it's going to be used to be on display. And that's a big ticket item.
I don't know. I did read somewhere that, and this is just a joke, that the identity is unknown because it's some man buying it for his wife for Christmas. So someone somewhere is opening that box on Christmas Day, and it's Princess Diana's $1.1 million evening gown. But I love, this dress is so beautiful. It's one that is so iconically Princess Diana. I mean, you see it and you almost immediately know who wore it, whereas some of her gowns that get sold are maybe less iconic or less sort of, you can picture it in your mind. But it's incredible to watch the value of her clothes just slowly climb up. We saw it with the sheep jumper earlier this year, the other evening gown that sold earlier this year, and now this one, $1.1 million. I mean, that's amazing. I do hope it's going to charity. You would hope so. I mean, that's an incredible amount of money.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. All right, well, let's wrap it up with our pint-sized palace. And the Princess of Wales shared a never-before-seen photo of herself at Christmas dinner, at the Christmas dinner table in 1983, just a few weeks before she turned 2 on January 9th. The image shows Kate wearing a dark cardigan and blue-white dress, along with a colorful beaded necklace. But a lot of people are saying what a remarkable resemblance it is to Prince Louis. So I love this. I love when the royals share like never-before-seen photos and what their Christmases looked like as children.
This was really sweet, such a sweet photo. And it was part of her Shaping Us campaign. And then other celebrities and major figures involved in the campaign are also sharing photos of their early Christmases, because those first 5 years, even though we don't remember them necessarily, they are instrumental in shaping our future. But I just love these behind the scenes glimpses. I mean, Kate had such a normal childhood, as we know. I had someone message me saying that their granny had the same placemats that are in Kate's, in this picture, which I think is amazing. And what these photos really do is it connects people. Even though she's the Princess of Wales, it just creates that connection between people, and then it makes royals, they're just like us.
It's so true. Royals are just like us, and I'm sure they're going to be creating a lot more Christmas memories as the holiday is upon us. Christine, I want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas as well. And to all of our viewers who've been watching all year long, we so appreciate you and wish you and your families a very happy and safe holiday as well. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.